evening and welcome back to RFA National League News. Tonight, we begin with a story that has sent shockwaves through Brianpool. Brian has been sacked as head coach of Brianpool with immediate effect. This is not a decision that has come out of nowhere. According to the club, the owners have been growing increasingly frustrated with the situation surrounding the team, and after weeks, potentially months, of limited communication from Brian, they have finally decided that enough is enough. The owners have taken control of the situation and made what they believe is the best decision for the future of Brianpool. And judging by the reaction from supporters, a large section of the fan base agrees. Some fans have been left questioning exactly what Brian has been doing behind the scenes, with frustration building over the lack of communication. One fictional social media post read, "The owners have finally done what needed to be done. Brian hasn't been around, hasn't communicated, and has left the club in a mess. Thank you to the owners for having the guts to make the decision." Another supporter posted, "Brian had his time. What he achieved years ago doesn't excuse what has happened recently. The club cannot survive on memories forever." And perhaps even more brutally, another fan wrote, "The Brian of Season 9 is not the Brian we have today. The club has moved forward, he hasn't." Those comments will undoubtedly hurt, because despite all of the criticism, there is one thing nobody can take away from Brian. He built this club. Back in Season 9, Brianpool were nowhere near where they are today. Brian dragged the club out of the mud and achieved promotion to the RFA National Premier League. And since that promotion, Brianpool have never been relegated. That is an incredible achievement. But football can be a ruthless business. And tonight, some supporters are asking whether Brian allowed his own legacy to become bigger than the club itself. I'll always respect Brian for getting us promoted, but that doesn't mean we should let him destroy everything he built. The owners have finally protected the club. Another said, "He gave us our greatest moment, but now he's throwing it all away. That's the saddest part." And perhaps the harshest reaction came from one supporter who simply posted, "Thank you for Season 9, Brian. But this isn't Season 9 anymore. It's time to move on." For Brian, those words could be incredibly difficult to read, because when you take a club from the bottom, earn promotion, and then keep them in the Premier League for season after season, you become more than just a manager. You become part of the club's identity. But eventually, every era comes to an end. And for Brianpool, that era has ended tonight. The club's owners have made their decision, and they appear confident that they know what is best for the future. The upcoming fixtures will now be watched extremely closely. Brianpool face Galaxy away, before traveling away again to face Graffiti. 2 difficult away games, 2 immediate tests, and a brand new manager walking into a dressing room that has just lost the man who helped take them to the top level. But there is another major issue waiting for the new boss. Brianpool currently have points applied against them, and the incoming manager is expected to appeal those points. That is something Brian himself failed to resolve during his time in charge, and it could now become one of the first major tasks for the new management team. The club have made it clear that they are moving forward. They are disappointed with how things have ended, but they have also wished Brian the very best for the future. And perhaps that's the most fitting way to end this chapter. Because despite the anger, the criticism, and the questions surrounding his departure, Brian's contribution to Brianpool cannot simply be erased. He brought them out of the mud. He delivered promotion in Season 9. He kept them in the RFA National Premier League. And Brianpool must move on without the man who once gave them their biggest achievement. The hero of Season 9 has become the manager of yesterday. And as Brianpool prepare for their next chapter, one question remains. Can the new manager protect everything Brian built, or will this be the beginning of an entirely new Brianpool? Only time will tell.